Hello, my name is Alejandro Bolivar, and I'm a fourth-year medical student at Indiana University School of Medicine. And I'm here to present my work titled Latinidad y Antirracismo, Fostering Antiracism Conversations in Medical Education. Given the lack of diversity in medical and STEM fields, a monolithic image has been created of what a Latinx individual is supposed to be. This has caused a crisis of identity in those who do not see themselves represented on that predetermined image of what Hispanic/Latinx, including those who were born in the United States and that do not speak the native language of their descendants. The objective of this project was to create a space for Latinx medical students to share experiences of racism within and without the Latinx community, foster a sense of community among minoritized and majority students, and learn to celebrate individual identities. This project was titled Hablemos de Color, Intersections of Race and Latinidad. We developed a series of 3 interactive lectures that consisted in conversations guided by a moderator or presenter and audience participation. Given COVID restrictions and to maximize audience reach, the lectures were held on the Zoom platform. The 3-part virtual series was organized by the Latino Medical Student Association, LMSA, Student Interest Group, and the Medical Spanish Student Interest Group as extracurricular events. Faculty and student body of Indiana University School of Medicine, as well as the residents and physicians of associated hospitals in the area were invited to participate. The first lecture consisted of Spanish terminology on how to talk about racism and discussions about racism within the Latinx community. To help guide these conversations and for future reference, a glossary of terms in Spanish was developed. After the conversation, the glossary was expanded to include terms and subjects brought up by the audience that participated. The second lecture consisted of a panel of faculty, residents, and medical students that discussed issues of identity, how they mitigated them, and the barriers that Latinx individuals have to access medical care. Panelists answered questions like, when someone asks you where you're from, what do you say? Have you ever felt like your Latinidad was questioned by someone else? Give us an example. Have you ever questioned your own identity as a member of the Latinx community? If so, why? Have you ever felt the need to be more outspoken about your culture around others? If so, why? The last session consisted of a conversation about experiences of Latinx students in higher education and the experiences of Afro-Latinos in the United States. We wanted to include a higher level of nuance by identifying complex relationships that Afro-Latinos have with multiple different cultures. In terms of results, surveys were conducted to determine how familiar attendees were with the subject of racism and identity within the Latinx community before and after the lecture series. The graphs can be seen if you follow the QR code included in the poster. As you will be able to see if you follow the QR code, attendees felt moderately familiar with the subject of racism and identity within the Latinx community prior to the lecture series and reported learning a great deal of information afterwards. The survey also included a free text section in which participants were highly encouraged to share ways in which the conversation can be continued and expanded. In conclusion, the lecture series was successful at creating a safe space for conversation about race and racism. We were able to reflect on what it means to be Latinx and the discrimination that exists within our own culture and how identities are complicated by intersectionality. I would like to thank STFM and the 2022 STFM Conference of Medical Education Student Scholarship, which has allowed me to showcase my work, and I would like to thank Dr. Ruben Hernandez for nominating me. Thank you and have a great day.